Bonjour! If you are looking for bets or parlays for UFC Paris, you have come to the right place. How we doing, everybody? My name is Young Pastey, aka the White Boy Wonder, and today I am here to bring you all of my official bets for UFC Paris. I have 7 bangers coming your way, and everybody's favorite section, the parlay section. I got 7 parlays coming your way too, okay? UFC Paris, lots of good fights and lots of great betting opportunities, so I am super excited to give you all of these bets and parlays today for free. So, now, as we always do, we have to recap last time. This is 2 weeks ago. Pulling the results up here right now. UFC Shanghai. And we end the day with a loss. Minus 1.8105 units. Zhong Mingyong. You motherfucker. Okay? He is the one that ruined it all. Okay? We could have had a profitable day. This could have been flipped. We could have been up 2 units. But no. Zhong Mingyong ruined the day for us. Honestly, looking at this, I had 3 2-pick parlays for UFC Shanghai. Tell me why all 3 of my 2-pick parlays lost by 1 leg. It's just like, man, couldn't put the right ones together. But, Tylaki got it done on bet number 1. Zong didn't. Aljamain gets it done in bet number 2. Michel doesn't. Kavanagh does not get it done, and Rongzhu does. So, weird for those. 3-pick parlay of the week. Slaps. Bet number 4, slaps. Gage Young comes through with a solid win. And then bet number 6, over 1.5 in the Waldo versus Pavlovich fight. Probably could have taken it to go the distance, got a little bit better of a number, but hey, I'm not going to complain about a win. And then bet number 7, Chao Long getting robbed in China. Don't agree with that decision at all. Yes, my ass was up at 2 in the morning watching all of these fights. We end up with a loss, but not too big. And again, like 3 of my 2-pick parlays all lost by 1 leg. Like, it's just, you really don't see that happening. So, hey, let's leave that bad juju back there at UFC Shanghai, and let's move some good juju into UFC Paris. All right, and these are the official bets for UFC Paris. We have 7 bangers coming your way today. We sort them in confidence, so bet number 1 is always my most confident play of the week. And then it moves on down from there. So let's get it started. My best bets for UFC Paris. Bet number 1, my most confident play of the week. We have a 2-pick parlay. We're going to revenge ourselves from last week, okay? Losing 3 2-pick parlays, okay? We're hitting this one. Brad Tavares, Mauricio Ruffy. Plus 116, we are putting 2 units on it. I have faith in both of these guys to get the job done. Brad Tavares going up against Robert Brychek. This dude, Robert Brychek, lost to freaking Ihor Potieria. I mean, come on now. That is just an awful look. Former Octagon fighter. Honestly, it kind of looks like he came off the juice, right? Once he came to the UFC, his knockout power, I don't think is really there. Brad Tavares got a new contract in the UFC, has tons of fights in the UFC, doesn't lose to bums, okay? Now, I'm not saying Robert Brychek's a bum, but he's not, in the upper echelon of UFC fighters. Brad Tavares is losing to really good fighters, not Robert Brychek, so he should get the job done there. And then Mauricio Ruffy, one of the elite fighting nerds, going up against BSD. This is one of my most confident fights and locks of the week here. Mauricio Ruffy. This dude is just on another level. His striking so smooth and fluid in the octagon. His KOs are just, he's just out here clip farming, man. Like, his KOs are nasty. He has power in the hands. I'm not worried about the takedown threats. I'm not worried about the ground game or the kind of cage control from BSD. I'm not worried about the pressure. Mauricio Ruffy's going to find the shot on BSD. Like, he's shown in the past that he can get knocked out and he can take enough damage. Or he can't keep taking damage. You know what I mean? Like, in that freaking Moicano fight, I think his face was just so beat up, the doctors had to come in and stop it. You know what I mean? Could Mauricio Ruffy do that? He could. But I see him finding the shot here. And again, I'm not scared of the ground game. Ruffy's a BJJ. He's one of the fighting nerds, for gosh sakes. So, Tavares, Mauricio Ruffy, plus 116. We are putting 2 units on it. That is my most confident play of the week. Let's go. Moving on to bet number 2. And if you guys are new around here, or if you have not, please click that subscribe button. We are on the road to 400 subscribers. So I'd really appreciate it if you click that button for me. Bet number 2. We have Andreas Gustafsson, minus 118. We are putting 2 units on it. This dude is a madman. I doubted him last time versus Chaos Williams. I was like, oh no, he's too reckless. He's too crazy. Chaos Williams is going to find the shot. Yeah, that didn't happen. He got smothered against the fence and beat the hell up for 3 rounds. And that's what I see happening with Renat Fakhretdinov. Renat might find a couple good shots when Gustafsson's coming in reckless and crazy, but I don't think he has the stopping power, the stunning power to stop him. And I think Gustafsson has enough brain cells to know if he is kind of hurt, he'll just go to the grappling and take him down. Andreas is going to be a lot bigger than Renat. I hate Renat Fakhretdinov's face, man. I just do. And Gustafsson, he's just, yes, he's reckless. He's a wild man. Like, he leaves his chin and face exposed, but he will grab a hold of you, push you up against the fence, and beat you up against the fence. That's his game plan. Smothering fence beat-ups. I'm taking Andreas Gustafsson, minus 118, 2 units. That is bet number 2 of the week. Let's go. Moving on to bet number 3. This is the 3-pick parlay of the week. We find 3 good legs, put them all together to get a good number. So this is what I got for you this week for the 3-pick parlay of the week. I need all 3 of these fights to go over 1.5 rounds. Okay, we're going back to the well. Okay, it works. And I have faith that all 3 of these fights will go over 1.5 rounds. I think they go distance. So, first, Bannon versus Hughes. Second, Pitbull versus Keita. Third, Tavares versus Brychek. Minus 127. We are putting 1.27 units on it to win 1 unit here. All 3 of these fights should at least go over 1.5 rounds. Now, Shauna Bannon leaving a bad taste in my mouth because I had the over 1.5 rounds in a previous parlay with her. She screwed me on her submission. I did have her to win, but... Ooh. But Sam Hughes is tough, right? This is a different test than Puja Tomar. So, I think this goes all 3 rounds. I don't see Hughes getting a finish on Bannon, so that fight should easily go over 1.5. Pitbull versus Keita. The fight should start round 2. Pitbull's tough. Everyone's saying Keita's going to come out here and smoke Pitbull and knock him out and finish him. I don't see that. Pitbull's a UFC vet. Not a UFC vet, but has UFC tenure at this point. Right? Keita's coming in. First fight in the UFC. Former Octagon guy. Like, I don't like these Octagon guys. They're really, I don't like the competition over there. Pitbull has loads of experience. I know he's a little bit older, but we've seen him go distance in his last 2 fights against people I think that are better than Keita. So that fight should definitely go over 1.5 rounds. And then lastly, Tavares versus Brychek. Tavares don't really have finishing power. Brychek supposedly does. We didn't really see it in the Ihor fight, and we saw him completely gas out after round 1. That fight should go over 1.5 rounds because, again, Tavares is a decision kind of machine. And Brychek gasses out after the first round. Yeah, he can take punches after that. But Tavares, again, he don't really have that finishing power. So, over 1.5 rounds for all 3 of these fights. It's very doable. Minus 127. We are putting 1.27 units on it. That is the 3-pick parlay of the week. Let's go. All right, moving on to bet number 4. We got another 2-pick parlay. We have Gomis and Bukauskas. Minus 115. We are putting 1.5 units on it. Again, I'm going back to the 2-pick parlays. I'm not scared of them. These are 2 of my solid favorites that should win the fight. Gomis going against Robert Ruchala. Dude, I think Gomis finds a late KO. Ruchala's also a kind of reckless kind of fighter. Leaves his head up in the air. People find a lot of shots on him. Gomis likes to, dance around the octagon. I see after over a period of time the shots adding up and Gomis just finding that right, that solid counter with Ruchala coming in crazy. I got Gomis in the 3rd round. But we just need him to win the fight. So I think his movement around the octagon and the, reckless pressure of Ruchala is going to get Gomis the W there. And then Bukauskas going up against Paul Craig. Look, Bukauskas has been leveling up every single fight. Paul Craig really hasn't been leveling up or looking, the best in his past few fights. 3 losses in a row now, no contests versus Borralho here. Bukauskas is way better than Borralho. I think Bukauskas does take it to decision because Paul Craig is tough. Bukauskas, yes, he has finishing ability, but he's kind of getting him later against people who are, noteworthy a little bit, right? Prakniał, that was a second or third round finish. The Scaria fight, yes, that was a first round finish. But, you're going up against somebody in Paul Craig who has a lot more UFC experience and is, tougher than these guys. So I at least think it goes to decision, but Bukauskas, again, been leveling up every single fight. Striking's been looking great. Has submissions in the back pocket, really good on the fence. I love the movement from him. I'm becoming a fan of Bukauskas. So, yeah, put 2 of these guys together. Gomis, Bukauskas, minus 115. We are putting 1.5 units on it. That is bet number 4. Let's go. All right, moving on to bet number 5. We are rolling with Marcin Tybura, minus 105. We are putting 1 unit on it. Look, people are sleeping on Marcin Tybura. You think Delija is just going to come in here from PFL and beat my boy Marcin Tybura with all the UFC experience he has? No, I think it's going to be a slobby heavyweight fight. I think Marcin Tybura is going to be able to secure takedowns, hold Delija on the ground, get some nice ground and pound in. Delija is going to be a tough guy, be able to, not get hit with a shot too bad. Pretty okay defensively on the ground. Probably see a lot of cage work from Tybura too. A lot of cage, just holding him up against the fence. A lot of control there. Getting some, dirty boxing and some elbows in there. I just favor the UFC experience over PFL experience. I know Marcin Tybura is a little bit older, but it's only by a few years. I think it's going to be a sloppy heavyweight fight. I think Marcin Tybura is going to take it by decision. But we just got him on the money line as an underdog, dang near even money. So minus 105, we are putting 1 unit on it. That is bet number 5 of the week. Let's go. Moving on to bet number 6. We got Rhys McKee, plus 125. We are putting 1 unit on it. I think people are sleeping on Rhys McKee. I mean, we see him as an underdog here versus a debuting Axel Sola. Rhys McKee looked dang good in his past few fights. And honestly, Sola's a little bit hittable, a little bit chinny. He's fighting out of Eris Fight Club, which, the talent out there really isn't that good. If you look back at the best people out of Eris Fight Club, the best fighter to come out of there, it's Taylor Lapilus. Are we really going to brag about that? Now, Axel Sola coming out of here short notice. I mean, yeah, he has some wrestling and grappling abilities. He takes you down. It's pretty hard to get up. I think Rhys McKee is going to be a little bit bigger. I think he's going to throw out some nice knees, some good kicks. The volume's going to be there. He's a good striker. His strike has been improving. Has really nice straights, good jab, thudding shots from Rhys McKee. I like backing him here as an underdog, plus 125. 1 unit. That is bet number 6 of the week. Let's go. Moving on to bet number 7. Lucky number 7. The last one for the official unit plays. We are rolling with Bolaji plus 130, half a unit. Now, just a half a unit. This fight's going to be close, guys. First, with him versus Mason Jones. It's going to be close. I don't like, Cage Warriors, the experience over there is okay. Well, we've seen some people coming out of there that are really putting on now. I mean, obviously Patty. We have Rhys McKee here. And now we see, Mason Jones. Mason Jones had his last win versus Jeremy Stephens. I think Bolaji a lot better than that. I think Bolaji has better grappling and wrestling abilities than Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy Stephens at this point, just kind of a boxer and a striker. Bolaji has a lot more MMA qualities to him than Jeremy Stephens does. So this is going to be a tough test for Mason Jones. I was surprised to see Oki as an underdog, to be honest with you. First time being an underdog. I think people are overrating Jones' wrestling and grappling ability and doubting Oki's, especially off that submission loss to Duncan. But that was just a nasty gilly from Duncan, and Duncan has a really solid guillotine. So Backing Bolaji as an underdog, and it's only half a unit. I'm going to roll with it. So Bolaji plus 130, half a unit. That is bet number 7 of the week. Let's go. All right, guys. Those are all the official bets for UFC Paris. Now, the odds that you see on those bets, you can get them all on my Patreon. Okay? Patreon's free. Links in the description. That's where I put all of my bets out when I place them. You know, I put these bets in way before the video here on Wednesday. You know, you got to get the odds when they're good because they always sway in the opposite way. So hit up the Patreon. Again, link is in the description and it's free. So it really don't hurt you to do it. Now, the parlay section. Everyone's favorite section, right? Couple things before we get the parlay section started. New rule. All the parlays from now on will be plus money. Okay? No more minus odds on the parlays. So all parlays are plus money. These are fun parlays, okay? 0.1, 0.2 units each. We don't track them for a profit or loss. You know, you choose what you want to put on these parlays, right? I love all the legs individually. So if you see a leg that you like individually, I mean, put it in as a single because a lot of these legs hit individually. A lot of times I'm hitting 2 out of the 3 legs on the parlays, you know what I mean? And then lastly, you don't have to tell me, okay? Fade me if you want. Ride with me if you want, okay? But your money is your money. Do as you choose. These are my parlays for the week for UFC Paris. We sort these by odds. So small odds to big odds. Let's get it going. First parlay for UFC Paris. This is my favorites parlay. Okay, so 4 of my favorites, slap them all together. We're going to put it in a parlay. Mauricio, Ruffy, Brad Tavares, William Gomis, Modestas, Bukauskas. Plus 282. I think all these guys get the job done. We're getting 3-1 for 4 solid favorites. So I'll take it. Moving on. I call this the 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. So we need all 3 of these fights to go over those rounds. So let's get into it. Over 1.5 rounds in the Bukauskas and Paul Craig fight. Over 2.5 rounds in the Oki versus Jones fight. And then the over 3.5 rounds in the Imavov versus Caio fight. Plus 278. Okay, wow, sorry. Should have flip-flopped these other 2 parlays. But anyway, this is actually my only action on the main event because I honestly am kind of torn. I did pick Caio to win the fight, but it's a really dang close fight. But yeah, all 3 of these fights should go over those rounds. So we'll take almost 3-1 again on the over 1.5, 2.5, 3.5 in all those fights. Let's go. Moving on. The fight does not go the distance parlay. Okay, I need all 3 of these fights to not go the distance. Okay, I need the final bell for round 3 not to happen. So first, Ruffy versus BSD. Second, Patterson versus Waters. Third, Gustafsson versus Renat. Okay, plus 342 for all 3 of these fights to not go the distance. I mean, obviously I have a side and an interest in all 3 of these fights, but we have an opportunity on both sides to get the job done here for this parlay. So moving on. This is my other favorites parlay. Plus 368. Now, I technically can't put this in yet because the combo of all 3 of these legs is just not available on a book yet. But calculated the odds myself. They should be around this plus 368. So first, Bannon plus 3.5 on the scorecards. Second, Patterson money line. Third, Fernandez money line. The one, Bannon plus 3.5, not technically a favorite, but she's going to at least win 1 round in that fight. So, like all 3 of these legs here, plus 368 for the other favorites parlay. Moving up, okay? We're jumping up 3 times here from plus 368, okay? This is the 1-2 parlay, okay? We're going to hit him with 1, we're going to hit him with 2. Plus 925. William Gomis KO and Ruffy KO. Yes, William Gomis KO. Everyone thinks he's going to get it done by decision. I see him catching Ruchala in the 3rd round with the counter. Ruchala's going to be eating shots all fight. Gomis is going to find that one because Ruchala's going to come in stupid. He's going to find the chin. Ooh, and he's going to drop him. Hit him with a couple fists on the ground. Ref's going to come in and call it. And then Ruffy KO. Come on now. Okay, somehow, some way, we're gonna get another highlight reel. So the 1-2 bet parlay plus 925. Let's go. Moving on. I call this the going long parlay plus 996. 10-1 here. Okay. Brad Tavares decision. Over 1.5 rounds in the Sai versus Riberio fight, and then Tybura decision plus 996, almost 10-1 here. And I don't even need the either side on the Sai versus Riberio fight. Just needed to go over 1.5. I think people are sleeping on that, even though that's at minus 155. Honestly, I got Sai by decision. I think the fight's at least gonna go distance. So, going long plus 996. And then lastly, my last parlay of the week, and it's pretty simple, okay? We got some barking dogs, okay? 3 straight barking dogs plus 1,167. 11-1. We got Pitbull, we got McKee, we got Oki, okay? Straight money lines plus 1,167. I'm not mad at it, and I think all 3 of them get it done. Honestly, the lines are probably going to flip on maybe the McKee and Oki fight. You never know. So, plus 1,167 for the Barkin' Dogs parlay. All right, guys. Those are all the official bets for UFC Paris. 7 bangers I threw your way. Those are all the parlays for the week. 7 parlays I threw at you as well. Again, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Click that subscribe button. Really appreciate your support. We are on the road to 400 subscribers, so just a little button that you got to click down there. Just one little click. So I'd appreciate it if you did that for me. Secondly, if you guys are interested, Patreon is free. Links in the description. That's where you can see all my bets and my parlays before this video comes out. I put these in before, Wednesday here. You got to get the odds when they're good because they always sway in the opposite way. We are generally ahead of the lines, and come fight time, it's better to have your bets in at a good number than a crappy number. You know what I mean? So check out the Patreon. Link in the description. It's free. Let's have a great week for UFC Paris. Oui, oui. Young Pastey is out. Let's go.